What's going on? What's going on? It's your man Mal C219 TV Midwest Connected, man. Cheese for life. But we talk about all things life. We like to just bring you the latest topics and trends through a little GI lens with a little GI perspective on top, with the Midwest perspective on top. And on this one right here, I want to touch on prize picks or surprise picks. You know what I'm saying? We know what's going on with the NBA, with the gambling scandals. You know what I'm saying? And I got a guy right here today because what we like to do, man. We pretty much like to educate and entertain. You feel what I'm saying? And by doing that, you know what I'm saying. I got my guy, Michael FRANZEZE. He's a former mafia boss from the Colombo crime family. Now, Michael FRANZEZE, he ran a situation with the mob to where he had this oil thing going, where he was doing something with some oil, man. He had something going on with the company. Dude he made millions, hundreds of millions. And of course, he got locked up for it. Of course, after that, changed his life, flipped the script. You know how that go. So now he do YouTube videos. So y'all go look him up, check the resources, But I want to bring him to the fold because he used to do gambling, sports gambling. He ran a booking, So what he did was break down. He didn't broke down this whole gambling scandal to the T. He didn't broke it down better than the news, bro. So we get your popcorn tapped in. So all my prize pickers, my gamblers, my wages, and when like I say over here on 219 TV, man, we like to educate and entertain. So what I like to do is when I do my videos, flipping versus investing, where I talk about the stock market, and once again, GoFundMe is not life insurance. And if you out here gambling like this, please put a little bit of money to the side and put some on your head before you lose it all. You feel what I'm saying? So my man, he about to explain this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I want to get with somebody that or get somebody for y'all to bring y'all this information to really best break down because this gambling thing is serious right now. And if you notice, the government, not even just the government, they've been promoting gambling more just as much now as investing and da 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 da. So once gambling then got made legal, so now they got to clean up the streets of gamblers so they can funnel the gambling money to the legal entities that they got control. But that's another whole, that's deep right there. I watch the stock market, but anyway, my man Michael FRANZEZE, he finna break down the game, bro. So get your pen and paper, get your popcorn, and listen to how this whole thing then went down. And he gonna just give you an idea of what we all did thought all along anyway. But now it's just it came to the forefront, man. It's just it came to the forefront, man. And it's realer than a $2 bill. So let's see what he got to say about it.
Hey everyone, welcome to another sit down with Michael FRANZEZE. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, my friends, I give all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving to our God for that. Well, you never know what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning. And today I am being bombarded, I would say, by all the news media because of this latest arrest and scandal with the NBA and gambling. And everybody's hitting me up, and I understand why. I'm kind of the go to guy on this because I've been working with all the pro leagues and the NCAA about gambling and players getting involved in it for 30 years now. As a matter of fact, I was recruited out of prison when I was, about 6 months away from coming home and started working with all the major leagues back then. And obviously, that was followed up by the NCAA, and have done over 300 universities, both Division One and Division Two, speaking to all the student athletes over the years. So why did they pick me? Because I had a big gambling.
Now, I want y'all to hear what the man said. 30 years. He caught his case in the 80s. You see the pictures. So he caught his case in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, whenever. So he said he been working with the government for years to go talk to people about the gambling, sports, because he know the game. So they been working with him, but 30 years. So this ain't just started last week with Chauncey now. That's all I'm saying.
Operation on the street. I had 12 or 13 bookmakers working for me at that time. And so obviously I knew a lot of athletes get in trouble all the time.
Accused of masterminding scams. FRANZEZE, he got indicted. That's all his stuff. So you can go check his paperwork, go see what's going on, just to know that this is a credible source. We bringing y'all this information. All right, we're gonna let him cook.
with respect to gambling. It happens. I don't like to throw a wide net over everybody, but listen, you got to understand with athletes, gambling is an extension of their competitiveness. They raise the stakes when they gamble. And this is what happens. Many of them get in trouble, whether they be in pros or in college, but it's been happening and it will continue to happen. Now,
Right.
four of the five New York families were involved in this investigation. It just broke this morning. And, oddly enough, the Colombos, my former associates, my former family, they weren't involved. So either they were smart and didn't get themselves in trouble, or somehow they're missing the boat. I don't know what it is. But let's get into this a little bit. And let me make you understand this, people. It's always going to continue. I did a media deal this morning, and they said to me, Michael, we haven't heard much about organized crime. Ever since the Gotti days, we haven't heard much. You don't hear that much. Let me tell you something. They got smart. They're working undercover now. It's not the same as it was in my lifetime. No doubt about that. But they're not going away. And I've said this many times. They're not going away in my lifetime. They're very resourceful, and gambling will always be a major business of Cosa Nostra. That's just how it is. It's very attractive. It's very lucrative. Guys love to gamble, and they love to make money by gambling. So yes, they're going to continue. Are the sports leagues going to be targeted? Of course, because they know athletes are easy prey in many, many cases. I'm sorry, they used to come to me, my bookmakers, and tell me things, which I'll get into a little bit. Athletes are easy prey. They get themselves in trouble. They owe a debt, and they got to do whatever they got to do to get out of it. Sometimes we have to intimidate them. Sometimes they just play along with us, whatever. But it happens, and it's not going to stop happening. Why? Because today, athletes have more access to gambling than they did in my day. Back in my day, you had to go to a bookmaker. You had to go to Vegas, maybe Atlantic City. Today, no. Today, you can gamble anywhere. So what happens? When they gamble legally and they lose their money legally, what do then? They try to make it up somewhere. They turn to a bookmaker. They have relationships on the street that say, "Hey, I know how to get you out of this. Don't worry about it." And they do what Chauncey Billups does, and a few of the other guys. And this is a widespread net that they seem to have pulled out over here. I'm going to get into. I'm going to read you an article so you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you that that aren't aware of this yet today, but you will be because it's big news.
Now he about to tap into the story, about to tap into the Chauncey Billups story. But I just want y'all to take a second because my man just unpacked a lot. You feel what I'm saying? And he didn't unpack a lot. And a lot of men like that. People been saying this for you. So when people say the game is rigged, you feel what I'm saying? When people say all this shit is rigged, I'm starting to believe. Betting on a person is, I never really, me, I'd rather try to invest my money, but flipping, investing, gambling, anything that's a possibility game can be manipulated, first of all. But anything where it's a possibility is a gamble. But you have safer gambles. Now what they say, now I understand gambling itself is legal. So they're not talking to the actual act of gambling. Now, if you got a problem, if you gamblers anonymous or something, hit the number for gambling anonymous. Anybody, because they say gambling is like an addiction, and like he say, when a lot of dudes get out there and get caught up, that's when they come to his side of the world. That's how the mob get involved. However, whatever. But he finna really break it down how this whole thing go, man. And I mean, this got to be tripping, man. But it's realer than a $2 bill. He keeping it funky.
And I'll go through it, and then we can talk about it. I'll give you my comments. Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups, big name, great player, amazing. And Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, current player, and former NBA guard coach Damon Jones were among 34 individuals arrested Thursday in a federal FBI operation. These are big names, people. The arrests were part of an FBI led investigation involving multiple agencies and the NYPD targeting La Cosa Nostra crime families. I don't know if we were the target at this point. Listen, it's so hard to get away with something today because, especially when you
That's it. He snitch. He keeps saying we. I don't think he's still with the gang the way he feel. But all right.
have a lot of people involved. somebody's going to mess up. Somebody's going to become an informant. Somebody's going to start to work with, the investigators. You can't get away with this for too long. Now, some of you may say, well, Michael, they might have made millions of dollars already. True. And maybe if they're going to do a couple of years in jail, they'll figure, hey, it's worth it. I'm set up when I come home. There's a lot of different schools of thought on this, but you're never going to get away with it forever. Very, very difficult.
Hold that right there. All my gangsters, my hustlers, my street people. Cause this apply, cause I ain't always sold life insurance. And I got a lot of friends that's on the other end, you know what I'm saying? And hold that thought to all the kids and people. When them youngsters, y'all youngsters out here doing what did you hear what he said? It's a lot to go into that thought process. If you're gonna do something, have yourself set up for when you get out of jail, but you gotta be that kind that's ready to do that. And of course, that's when the snitching and telling. That's why this is because everybody can't do that. And then you're going to hear when they get confronted with these problems. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Especially when you got high profile players. Because honestly, they're not all that smart. They don't know the ways of the street. They're not all that smart. They're going to get themselves jammed up. Okay. All three face charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Interesting. We'll get into that. The investigation included two coordinated operations, Operation Zen Diagram and Operation Nothing But Net. It was both, it involved sports gambling and it involved card playing. And this is the oldest trick in the book, with cards, oldest trick in the book. I mean, this goes back, God knows how long, certainly during my day and beyond. The operation spanned 11 U.S. states. They focused on illegal gambling, money laundering schemes linked to organized crime. Remember this, people. Any bookmaker that can carry a bet or handle a big bet, they're going to be involved with organized crime. In New York especially. Why? Because number one, we're not going to let them operate alone. They're going to have to operate with us. We're not going to let an illegal bookmaker operate on his own. He's going to have to answer to us. And if he doesn't, he's in trouble. We'll put him out of business or whatever.
Now, right there, so he kind of just broke down to you how the game goes. So the illegal bookmaking, like Gilbert Arenas, they had the game going on. He was hosting games, people like that, like stakes what Drake is going through, but we're going to talk about that. That's another thing. But the people that set up the situations, they not the mob. The mob taps into them because they know what you're doing is illegal. So, we need a piece of that. Period.
All right. And they want to work with us because remember, bookmakers give credit. They don't take your credit card. They don't take your money up front. They give credit. Well, if they have a collection problem, what are they going to do? Very simple. They come to us and we collect. We're pretty good at collecting. So bookmakers want to be involved with us. They'll give up a piece of the action just to have the protection from us. So if you're dealing with a bookmaker that can carry any kind of a bet, they're going to be involved with us in some way, shape, or form. I'm saying us. I'm not a member anymore, but, sometimes I just say things like that. So
that's what I thought.
Let's keep going. FBI Director Kash Patel stated the operation uncovered schemes where NBA players and coaches, not surprised, rigged gambling systems to benefit criminal networks. They're working with guys on the street. Listen to this, and this is what I just said. A confidential FBI source recorded over 3,000 calls and meetings with targets and participated in rigged poker games using cheating devices, an example, shuffling devices and x-ray tables. Again, oldest trick in the book. They're more sophisticated now. If you go back to the movie Casino, remember when De Niro caught the guy, they had the little, device and they were signaling somebody at another table when they were playing blackjack at that time. Oldest trick in the book, really. And now with the level of sophistication technologically that they have, forget it. They can do wonders, especially when people are playing along with them. 3,000 calls they got on tape. Billups and Jones were identified as face cards, and they're former pro athletes that used to lure victims referred to as fish into poker games. Who wouldn't want to play, poker with an NBA player? Who wouldn't? Hey, come on to the table. Let's have some fun together. They want to be around the player. It's good for them. They sit down, they play a little game of poker, and that guy, the NBA player, is luring them into a fixed game. Let me tell you something. Guys that are gamblers, they're easy prey also. You give them an opportunity where they can earn money with something that they love to do, gambling, it's in their blood, in their system, they love it, easy prey. They're fish. That's basically what they are. Fish. The fish were unaware the face cards. The face cards were called the NBA players. Were part of the scheme. Rozier, big player, allegedly faked. Listen to this. Not uncommon at all. He faked an injury during a March 23rd, 2023 game. The Hornets.
Rozier, just to speed up to date, Rozier is the guy from the Miami Heat. That him and Chauncey, they got two separate cases. He was more so doing the practice pick. He pulling himself out of games, telling his friend to take so he don't hit the points, take the under bets. He was doing that. So he was altering the thing again. So that's where a lot of other NBA players, where it might roll into them. They trying to bring Braun in, but that's a whole nother story. And Billups was hosting these illegal poker games. Well, Billups was, like he say, the face card, getting people to come to these games and getting played out their money, probably because he was in there. It's just crazy. It's just deeper than rap.
And the Pelicans were playing, and they allowed co-defendant De Niro Laster to place insider bets. Remember this. It's never about winning or losing. It's about what? The point spread. I'll give you an example. I'm going to go back because I don't want to name. Look, innocent until proven guilty. These are allegations. We don't know. This is what's being alleged. We'll see. Let me give you an example.
Allegedly.
Let's go back, to players that aren't playing anymore. Lakers are playing, right? An inside bet. They got an inside deal with the referee. Let's say the referee, and don't think that this doesn't happen. It absolutely does. The referee wants to make some money. It's Christmas time. He needs a few extra bucks. God forbid one of his kids, need an operation. He needs some extra money. So what happens? It's never about winning or losing. It's about the spread. Lakers are favored to win by 10 points, right? He's got somebody he can trust, an uncle, a cousin, a brother, a neighbor, somebody very close to him. Listen, I want you to bet, X amount of dollars on the under. Well, what do you mean? Kobe Bryant, all these guys, Shaq are playing. You sure you want to go the under? Just put it on the under for me. So now the referee, this. He can call a foul every time these guys move down the court, or he doesn't have to call the foul. He misses it, right? So what does he do?
I say that
he gets Kobe. He gives him an extra foul or two, and he puts him on the bench for extra time. Limits the possibility of the game going to the over. If he does this a few times, he's going to make some money. He may not score in the first game, but over a period of time, he's going to make some money. It's very easy to manipulate an NBA game. He just did it. He told his friend, I'm going to go out on an injury. Bet the under. That's what he does. They make it. Very, very simple. I have experience with this, people. I'm not going to get into particulars now. It's a long time ago, but I have experience. Why do you think we want, to play? Why do you think I got involved with Norby Walters? Norby Walters. Remember that? He was representing all the college athletes to go into the pros. I gave him $250,000. Why? I wanted to get close to the players because I knew if I get one or two players working with me, I'm going to make a ton of money. That's why I got involved with Norby. That's why I gave him the money. No question. And Norby later on was threatening players when I went to prison. I never got back my $250,000, never paid me back, well, because I went to jail after that. And I didn't have a chance to get close to the players back then. Bad circumstances for me. But why do you think I got involved with them? You get one of these players, forget it. You can make a ton of money. And that's what happened here. So don't be surprised. Rozier allegedly faked the injury, went through that. Defendants allegedly received non-public NBA injury and player participation information to place fraudulent prop bets. Okay. You're supposed to report when a player is injured. You got to report it. This is part of the game, so people know. What if you don't report it? And people get that information. They know, hey, this player, again, Kobe Bryant, he's not at full steam today. This player's not at full steam. Bet the under, whatever. This is what's going to happen. You can bet so many different ways during a game. So when you have injury information that only you have, you can make a lot of money. That's why they tell you, you're not allowed to get this information out. It's got to be reported or forget it. Big advantage you can get with unreported injury information. Really help you win a bet, no question, or a series of bets. Proceeds from these bets were laundered, including through cryptocurrency conversions to evade detection. They didn't have that back in my day. But now, listen, like I said, guys in that life are very resourceful. They will figure things out, no question.
No doubt.
They will figure things out. So now they're using crypto, which to a large degree goes undetected. But what happened? You got an informant here. He's got 3,000 calls or text messages that he put together. You have an informant, and you always are going to have an informant. It's going to happen.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. We from the Beretta generation. Like my pop said, do your dirt by yourself because somebody gonna always tell.
Happen. Remember that.
Well, hold on.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is based.
Links to prior NBA betting scandals. The indictment references former Toronto Raptors player Jonte Porter, previously banned for life and who pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. That's a gambling situation. Prosecutors.
So he got caught. Jonte Porter, somebody look him up. He got caught. He already had a case, so he must be one of the ones. That's why Gilbert was saying he wasn't snitching. So whoever this Porter guy, he kind of opened up a bag of worms.
Is allegedly. Porter was threatened due to gambling debts and coerced to share insider information used for betting. Give you an example. Back in my day, NFL player, right? And this happened. I'm not going to mention the names. More than once, but this happened. Bookmaker working with me, he comes to me, hey, this player from the Jets, he's into me really heavy. He owes me 50 grand. Okay, what do you want to do? Should I bring him to you? How should I collect? 50 grand. Let him get into you for 250 grand, 300 grand. What are you doing? You're writing an entry on a piece of paper. It's not costing you a penny. He's a bad gambler. Let him get into you heavy and then bring him to me. Boom. Before you know it, he's into me $250,000, $300,000, right? I bring him to me. Sit down. Hey, how you doing? Good. You owe me a lot of money. Oh, you didn't know it was me? Sorry, yeah, we don't always put that out there, but it's me. You owe me a lot of money. How are you going to pay? You got to pay. You got to figure it out. I'll tell you what. You know what? I love your team. I like the way you play. I'm going to give you a break. You owe me $250,000, right? You don't have to pay me right away. You pay me 2% a week in cash. When do you get paid? Every Monday you be here with the cash. Don't miss. Don't miss. And I'll let you slide for a while. I don't care. That's fine with me. He wants to do anything to get out of the room. He leaves. What do we find out? We're tracking a guy. He goes to another bookmaker somewhere else, right? And he's trying to make up the loss by betting somewhere else. But we all know what's going on. So pretty soon, he can't even pay me the 2%. We call him back in the room. Hey, let me explain something to you, my friend. You don't get away with a gambling debt. You got to pay me. You got a rich uncle. You got a godfather. Who would it? Go rob a bank. I don't care what you do, but you're going to pay me. That's it. Oh, Michael, let me tell you that. For some reason, I got a soft spot with you. I don't know why. So here's what we're going to do. You're a good running back, right? Yeah. All right. First 3 times next game, you put the ball on the ground. What? You heard what I said. Put the ball on the ground. First 3 times. You're a wide receiver? Okay. Make sure that that ball doesn't go into your hands. That's it. You're a quarterback? First 3 times you get the ball, put it in the other team's hands. I'll worry about the rest. I'm getting an edge now. I know what to do. You're going to do this over a period of whatever amount of games I tell you, and that's how we're going to even up the score. And if you don't do it, you don't want to know what happens at that point. I think you understand where I'm coming from. That's it. Very powerful. That's how you get these players to work with you. NBA player, the same thing. I don't care what you do. Foul yourself out of the game. Do whatever. Referee, same thing. You make sure it goes my way. Are all of these type of people involved in gambling? Of course. Gambling is huge. Why do you think the NBA and all of these organizations now are being involved with gambling?
Just like that, my man just broke down the whole play, the whole scenarios. And like I said, why y'all think within the last year, they just been advertising? Man, they advertise gambling like Christmas or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the stock market. They really advertise. They want everybody to get this money. But this is crazy. But let them cook. Let them cook. My bad.
Money. Period. Huge. The more access you give players, the more trouble they're going to get in.
Right.
Bottom line, that's it. And I've been saying this for 30 years when they were trying to legalize gambling. I said, listen, the more access you give, the more trouble you're going to have. Period.
30 years.
The more trouble players are going to get into because you're playing into their weakness. Gambling is an extension of their competitiveness. And guys that make big money lose big money. If you're making millions of dollars a year, it doesn't feel good to lose $100. That's nothing. You spend $100, you tip the waiter for $100. You're going to bet big because you want to win big, and as a result, you're going to lose big.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line.
So the leagues, honestly, they're not helping themselves. I can tell you that. All right, let me continue with this. Financial impact. Defendants allegedly placed hundreds of thousands of dollars on fraudulent bets. The estimated intended losses totaled in the millions, no doubt about it. Bets were placed using straw bettors, guys that they just brought in to bet, to bypass betting limits and maximize profits. In other words, you can't bet so much at one time, so you get a number of different guys and you have them each come in and bet. But again, what are you doing? You're making the scheme known to more people. Oh, I can't bet 100,000. That's the limit. So I'll have to get 3 or 4 or 5 guys come in and let them all bet for me. Now they're all in on the scam. They're all in on the scheme. The more you widen that net, the more possibility you've got of somebody cracking or getting in trouble or being an informant or whatever. Do you see how it happens? I always tell people, you want to do a crime, do it alone. And if you can't do it alone, don't do it at all. Because chances are whoever you're working with is going to jam themselves up and they're going to get in trouble and they're going to implicate you. No doubt about it.
Now, he just said a mouthful, and you can't keep it no gangster than that. Even though he flipped to get out of his situation, you can't keep it no gangster than that. I'm going to run that back for y'all one more time, just for the gangsters and the goons and the hustlers in the back that didn't get what he said.
The estimated intended losses totaled in the millions, no doubt about it. Bets were placed using straw bettors, guys that they just brought in to bet, to bypass betting limits and maximize profits. In other words, you can't bet so much at one time, so you get a number of different guys and you have them each come in and bet. But again, what are you doing? You're making the scheme known to more people. Oh, I can't bet 100,000. That's the limit. So I'll have to get 3 or 4 or 5 guys come in and let them all bet for me. Now they're all in on the scam. They're all in on the scheme. The more you widen that net, the more possibility you've got of somebody cracking or getting in trouble or being an informant or whatever. Do you see how it happens? I always tell people, you want to do a crime, do it alone. And if you can't do it alone, don't do it at all. Because chances are whoever you're working with is going to jam themselves up and they're going to get in trouble and they're going to implicate you. No doubt about it.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Okay. The NBA placed Billups and Rozier on immediate leave of absence pending further review. The league pledged full cooperation with federal authorities, emphasizing that, quote, the integrity of our game remains our top priority. Okay. And that's true, because let me tell you something. If the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball or NHL ever become what wrestling was, pro wrestling was during my day, forget it. The sports will lose all their luster because a major part of their business, the reason people watch is because they can gamble on the games. Let me tell you, at one point in time, you had a favorite team, right? You would bet on that team. But now you can bet on every team on a Sunday, on a Thursday, on a Monday in the NFL. You can bet on every Major League Baseball game. It doesn't matter who your favorite team is. You're betting on everything because you're a gambler. You want to make money. So, of course, they bring more interest into the sport, more interest by allowing gambling on the sports. They just don't want the players to get jammed up, right? Of course, because then it makes it what professional wrestling was, which was a big scam. It was only entertaining. It wasn't real many, many years ago. You don't want that. You don't want that. When players get involved, you got trouble. But when everybody else get involved and you're saying the players can't get involved, well, you're opening yourself up for a mess. And here's what the result of it is. And is it going to end with this investigation? Of course not. It'll continue. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella declared that those involved, quote, violated the law and their luck has just run out. Oh, that's a good one. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch confirmed Rozier's intentional injury deception and coordination with co-conspirators. You know, Rozier's attorney, I'm not going to read this, was mad because they didn't allow him to surrender. They made him do the perp walk. Hey, welcome to the real world. You think these agencies don't want to get publicity? Of course they do. Why do you think they came after Cosa Nostra? Because we made headlines for them. They're not going to hide it. They're not going to not put it out in the media. They want people to know. Why do you think it's been all over the media this morning? Because this is a feather in their cap. This is how they get promotions. Why do you think they worked against us so much? Because we made headlines. You lock up John Gotti, big deal. You lock up Sonny Franzese, big deal. Al Capone, Lucky Luke, big deal. You get promoted. So of course, forget it's naive. You lock up an NBA player. I'm sorry, it's big news. You got to expect that. They're not going to let you backdoor it. I'm surprised at this attorney coming out and what do you expect? He should know better. Chauncey Billups was arrested following the illegal poker takedown. The alleged illegal bets covered games involving the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors. Interesting. Both the Trailblazers and Heat confirmed cooperation with the investigators. Rozier did not play in the Heat's most recent game. Billups had coached the Trailblazers the night before his arrest. People, this is a big deal. It's not news to me at all. What is news to me is that there was two separate incidents here. Number one, you got a player basically throwing a game because he faked an injury, got out of the game, and to let his co-conspirator or accomplice know it, so they put a bet on the under, and they won some money. Who knows how many times it happened? But there's
And they say Rozier contract was for like 26 million.
showing one incident that it did happen. How did they find out it happened? Very simple. Somebody told them. Very simple. There you go. Either that or they picked it up on a call, that it was tapped or bugged or a text. Who knows? Again, you spread that net wide, you get more people involved, you have more chance of getting in trouble, and eventually it's going to happen. What the other part of this is that they enlisted the players to bring legitimate poker players into a game that was rigged. And they all knew it. So you got 5 guys sitting at the table. 4 of them know what's going on. The one fish who they're gambling, and they make sure he can gamble heavy, they're the ones, and they got these technical devices. They even had, they knew how to fix the cards. They were card counting, technical machines that can card count. So you know what cards are coming out. Unbelievable. Big scheme. And it's going to continue. Trust me. This bust will not stop it because gamblers are desperate. They get themselves in trouble. They need to find a way out. Yes, they gravitate to people on the street. No question about it. Because why? Because we can handle the operation. We make them understand we're never going to tell on you. We're going to help you. We're going to protect you. But really, they're just in it for the money. And then a situation like this happens. So, look, it's brought out in public now. It's no surprise to me. This has been going on throughout my lifetime and well before. Organized crime is never going to get out of the business of gambling. Too lucrative. They know it too well, and they love it too much. So many guys on the street themselves were degenerate gamblers. There's guys right now that you know of, okay, that are degenerate gamblers and are continuing to gamble right now. I'm not going to mention names, but it's just how it goes. So, you know what? It's sad for the people involved. Who knows how serious it's going to be, I mean, they're indicted. They're going to get charged. We'll see if they get found guilty, what kind of time they're going to get. But this has got a long way to go yet. So look, my advice to all of you out there, take it from me. I was once a perpetrator in this. I didn't have a gambling problem myself, but I preyed on people through my bookmakers. Many of them were athletes that had gambling issues, and we were able to use that to our advantage and to their disadvantage. Because really, they don't get out of the hole. A gambler is going to continue gambling. And I want to make sure you understand what I said about Michael Jordan. He doesn't have a gambling problem. He's got a competition problem. Why is it not a problem for him? Because the guy is so wealthy. He's got such a revenue stream.
Mike had that.
Gambling is entertainment for him, and he's never going to put himself, I don't believe. I mean, he's an elderly gentleman right now. He's never going to put himself in a position where he can't pay his mortgage, he loses his cars, whatever. Michael Jordan's not going to be broke. So he wants to gamble, that's up to him. If you can gamble, don't get yourself in trouble. Don't get involved in schemes like this. Don't let anybody make a sucker out of you by putting yourself in a hole, and then you got to go to somebody to get out of it, and they're going to use you to their advantage because that's what guys on the streets do. Then this is a warning to all of you. It should really be a warning. On the pro level, on the college level, stay away from it. It's what I've been preaching for the past 30 years, ever since they recruited me out of prison to work with the NBA, Major League Baseball. Guys that I knew, the head of security back then for the NBA, Horace Balmer, a good guy. He used me with the NBA. We saved a lot of players, I believe. Kevin Hallinan, great guy, Major League Baseball, head of security. We spoke at every Major League Baseball spring training camp. We spoke to all the minors. We let them understand how they can get in trouble. So we've been preaching this message for 30 years. The NCAA, they jumped on board with me in 1998, over 300 universities. And in this past year alone, I've done a couple. I'm not going to mention. You know, it's not for publication, but I've done a couple. And the student athletes listen. They pay attention. And I want to tell you this. This has never failed. I've done over 300 Division I and Division II universities. When I leave the university, you know what I tell the student athletes? You got a problem, email me. I give my email address. I don't work for the NCAA. I don't answer to them. I don't answer to your coach. I don't answer to the school. I want to help you. I want to help you if you got a problem. It'll be confidential. I give you my word. It has never failed yet. Over 300 schools. By the time I get back to my hotel room, I got emails from student athletes that are struggling with a gambling situation. Sometimes they don't want to say it's them. It's a friend. It's my brother. It's my cousin. I get it. And have I helped them? Yeah. Will I ever disclose it? No. I gave my word. Absolutely not. You know, but
Flipped on the mob if you get in your work. But anyway, this is crazy right here, man. Wait, I'm gonna let him finish this and we're gonna
look, let this be a wake-up call and a lesson to all of you out there, whoever is listening. I got hit up this morning by all the media outlets on this because they know I have the the experience and the expertise in this regard. Got to stay away from it, people. Don't jeopardize your standing in a sport by letting some guy take advantage of you. Gamblers are desperate. They're looking for an edge. They're looking for any way that they can to make money. So don't put yourself in that position. Don't be a fish. Don't be a player that could be used because you're going to put yourself in trouble. That's it for today. I'm sure you'll hear more of me a little bit later on. We're doing a couple other shows because I want to bring this to people's attention. I don't want these athletes to get in trouble. I don't want to see the sports be smirched over this. I don't. You know, we love sports. We love competition. We love to watch it. They're entertaining. They're great. They're part of our life. We don't want to see these things happen. So I'll do my best, to make people aware of it and help out in any way I can, like I have been doing for the past 30 years. That's it for today, my friends. How do I always leave you? Same way. Be safe. Be healthy. God bless each and every one of you, families, friends, neighborhoods, and God bless America. And one last thing. FRANZEZE wine. Don't gamble. You can drink wine every once in a while. Don't get bad. But our wine, you guys have been supporting it in a big way, and I really appreciate it.
Man, here's the thing, man. Your man, Franz. What's his name? Michael. Wait, let me see. I want y'all to go check him out. Go check out his YouTube page. Roll on, I'm trying to get it for y'all right quick. Go check out his YouTube page, man. Michael FRANZEZE. Michael FRANZEZE. Former mob boss. Michael FRANZEZE just broke it down, man. Play by play, play for play, blow for blow, man. How that thing go. So if you out there prize pick, that gambling is something serious, man. It can become worse than a dope habit. You know what I'm saying? I always say gambling is worse than getting high because a fiend only gonna smoke up so much dope. If you smoke too much dope, you shoot too much drugs, you gonna die. But a gambler can put up whatever money he can touch and what's in his pocket. His house, his car, his key, whatever they got, you can put it on the line. Ain't no amount for where you can stop it until you get stopped. You know what I'm saying? So everything's a probability game. So if you win it, that's all good. You feel what I'm saying? But be responsible with it, like he say. If you ain't got it to play with, don't play. You know, it is what it is. But what y'all think about this, man? Let me know. Drop something in the comments, man. The former mob boss just broke down the whole situation, man, and that was something right there, bro. That was something right there, man. So y'all let me know what you think, man. It's your man Mousy 219 TV, Midwest Connector. Let's not be good. If you're out there shaking them tight, you gambling like that, please put some money on your head before you get the only one of them, and they do. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think, man. Drop something in the comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this heat. Damn, it's finna get up.